I only wish I had done this sooner. The years that I wasted in addiction, 20 years of my life, 2/3 of my life wasted, addicted to one substance or another. The only way to get sober is by replacing the addiction with something greater. Now let's get into it. Instead of putting whatever substance in your body, you can be filling it with something else, filling it with the Spirit. Therefore, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of God is, and do not get drunk with wine, for that is debauchery, but be filled with the Spirit. The Spirit can be an intangible concept because the Spirit is something that we can't touch. We can't reach out and grasp the Spirit, but yet the Spirit performs the function of filling. We are the object Spirit fills. Spirit performs this function, this action upon us. By being filled with the Holy Spirit, we drive out our need and desire for the flesh. When we satisfy the desires of the flesh, we push out the Spirit. But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify desires of the flesh. For desires of the flesh are against the Spirit, and desires of the Spirit are against the flesh. For these are opposed to each other to keep you from doing the things you want to do in life. The only way to get sober is by replacing the addiction with something greater. I was addicted for 20 years of my life. I experienced severe, crippling addiction. I was crippled. I crippled myself. I couldn't function. I was destroying myself. The only way that I got sober was that I prayed to God for help. I admitted that I was powerless and I had no recourse left but to ask God for help. And I prayed in earnest, God, please help me. I can't help myself. God brought me into a path of recovery. And going into 2025, I'm entering my 12th month of sobriety. So I'm going into 2025 with a year of sobriety under my belt. And I feel like my life is just starting. Addiction drains energy. I drained my energy, my vigor, my creative force, my energy to accomplish and build a sustainable life worthy of being recognized by the Spirit. What I want going forward in life now is I want to be a worthy vessel for God to fill me with His Spirit. That's all I want. And I can only do that if I'm not pushing the Spirit out with carnal pleasures, with pleasures of the flesh. I'm supplanting my desires of the flesh with desires of something higher, with an upward aim, from a higher nature, and I am allowing God to fill me with the Spirit. And because of that, I've been a year sober. Now, the Bible is quite clear. Several passages state that as Christians, we should not be partaking in drink, and that we should be avoiding pleasures of the flesh, and that we should deny ourselves, deny our desires, and do not love the world or the things in the world. For all that's in the world, desires of the eye, pleasures of the flesh, and pride in life is not from the Father, but is from the world. And the world is passing away, along with its desires, but whoever does the will of God abides forever. The world is passing away, and we see this because the world is decaying. The world is dying. We die. Death is all around us. If one thing is certain, that would be death. So the decay of the world, the dying world, is all around us. That's one thing that I can be certain of. And why would I rest my laurels in a world that is passing away? So now I set my sights on the higher nature of God and the things of the Spirit. So I try to walk by the Spirit as best as I can. And that is how I am maintaining my sobriety. By filling myself with the Spirit, I push out the flesh and I leave no room for alcohol, drugs, substances, and addiction to consume me. Instead, I am now consumed by the Spirit. If you like what you hear, check out this for more.